Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. So you sent us some research on Katana Spin Casino, and we dove right in to break it all down for you.
Sounds interesting already.
It is. And we're going to focus on the review from GalaReviews.com.
All right, cool. I've heard of that site before.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, and honestly, this casino seems like a wild ride just from the theme alone. Oh, we're talking samurai and feudal Japan aesthetics.
Whoa, okay, so like swords and stuff.
Exactly. It's definitely a unique approach. But before we get too caught up in the visuals, let's see what they actually offer in terms of games.
Makes sense. A casino's got to have good games first and foremost, right?
Absolutely. And based on the review, it looks like they've got over 1,000 games from some of the biggest providers out there.
Okay, that's a pretty good starting point. What kind of games are we talking about?
You name it. They've got it slots table games, even a live casino section. So pretty much everything you'd expect from a solid online casino.
All right, so the variety is there, but what about the welcome bonus? You know, those juicy offers that casinos use to reel you in?
Oh, they definitely didn't skimp on that. Get this, they've got a 3-tier deposit bonus totaling up to £450 plus 150 free spins.
Whoa, that's pretty generous, gotta admit. But there's always a catch, right? What's the wagering requirement?
Ah, you beat me to it. The review says it's 40x.
40x. That's definitely on the higher end. You always want to keep an eye on those wagering requirements because they can really make a difference.
For sure, if you're thinking of claiming that bonus, make sure you understand how those wagering requirements work before you jump in.
Absolutely. It's always best to be informed. Now let's talk about the actual games themselves. What kind of slots are we looking at here?
Well, the review specifically mentioned some big names like Mega Moolah Starburst and Bonanza.
Oh yeah, those are some popular ones. You can usually find those at any decent online casino.
Right, and it sounds like they've got a good mix of classic slots and newer releases, so there's something for everyone.
Nice variety is always a plus. And what about those who prefer a more authentic casino experience? Anything for them.
For sure. They've got a whole live casino section powered by Evolution Gaming.
Oh, now that's a name that stands out. Evolution Gaming is pretty much the top dog when it comes to live dealer games.
Exactly, and they've got a huge range of games too. Blackjack, roulette, baccarat, you name it.
Sounds like they've got all the bases covered. So we've got a good selection of games attempting welcome bonus, although with a slightly high wagering requirement. What else is there?
Oh, and get this, they also support cryptocurrency. You can use Bitcoin and Ethereum, along with your usual Visa and MasterCard.
Interesting. More and more casinos seem to be jumping on the crypto bandwagon these days.
Yeah, it's definitely a trend to watch out for. So they're ticking a lot of boxes so far.
Yeah.
But we've got to address...
Wow, that's pretty ambitious. Sounds like they're really trying to create a unique and memorable experience.
Right, and from a visual standpoint, it sounds pretty impressive. But of course, there's more to a casino than just its looks. We need to talk about their licensing and security measures.
Absolutely. That's crucial when it comes to online casinos. You want to know that your money and personal information are safe.
Exactly. So the review mentioned that Katana Spin Casino operates under a Curacao license.
Okay, so what does that mean for the average player? How does that compare to other licenses like at the UKGC, for example?
Well, the UKGC is known for being one of the strictest gambling regulators in the world. They have very high standards when it comes to player protection, responsible gambling, and all that.
Right, so it's kind of like the gold standard for online casino licenses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, the Curacao license is still legitimate, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as strict as the UKGC.
So there might be a bit of a trade-off there. Players might be getting a more unique visual experience, but with slightly less stringent regulations.
Exactly. It's something to keep in mind when you're weighing your options.
For sure. It all comes down to what's more important to you as a player, a cool theme, or that extra layer of security and player protection.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So we've got a solid game selection, a tempting welcome bonus, although with a high wagering requirement and that unique samurai theme. But we've also got to consider the Curacao licensing, which might not be as strict as some players would prefer.
Right. It's a mixed bag. But that's what makes this so interesting. There's a lot to think about and weigh when it comes to Katana Spin Casino.
Exactly. And we're just getting started. There's a lot more to unpack in that GalaReviews.com review. So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve deeper into their tournaments, promotions, customer support, and even their mobile platform.
Yeah, we're going to break it all down so you can decide if Katana Spin Casino is worth your time and money. Welcome back. So before we dig deeper into this review, I got to ask what's stuck with you so far about Katana Spin.
Honestly, that samurai theme keeps popping back into my head. It's just so different. And, I love a casino that tries something new. But the cryptocurrency thing also piqued my interest. It seems like that's becoming more common in the online casino world.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a trend to watch. I mean, it makes sense, right? Faster transactions and more privacy appeals to a lot of players. But, okay, back to the review itself. One thing that jumped out at me was their tournament and promotion setup.
Oh yeah, the review mentioned that, right? They have like slot tournaments and leaderboard races, even some prize draws. It sounded pretty exciting.
Yeah, they seem to have a good variety, which is always nice. But here's the thing. The review also mentioned that some of these tournaments come with even higher wagering requirements than the standard bonus.
Oh wow, so it's like a bonus on top of a bonus, but with even more strings attached.
Exactly. So you really got to be careful and read the fine print before you jump into those tournaments, especially if you're not a high roller or you're on a budget.
Good point. You don't want to get caught out by those hidden wagering requirements. All right, so we've talked about games, bonuses, and themes. What about something a little more basic, like customer support? That's always a big one for me.
Absolutely. You need to know that you can get help if you run into any problems. So according to the review, Katana Spin offers 24/7 live chat and email support.
Okay, that's pretty standard these days. But how responsive are they? Did the review mention anything about that?
Yeah, they actually highlighted their quick response times and helpful support team, which is always reassuring.
It's great to hear.
Yeah.
Customer support gets a thumbs up. What about mobile play? Can you play on the go with Katana Spin?
Absolutely. They've got a dedicated mobile platform designed for instant play, so no need to download any apps. And the review specifically praised the mobile site's navigation and responsiveness.
Perfect, because let's be real, who doesn't love to squeeze in a few spins while they're on the move?
But at the end of the day, it's all about what you as a player prioritize. Is it more important to have a unique and visually appealing experience? Or is peace of mind and player protection your top priority?
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's all about finding what works best for you as an individual player.
And honestly, even with all the information we've discussed, it's just one review, right? There are tons of other online casino reviews out there, and it's always a good idea to do your research and compare different options before you make a decision.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So to wrap things up for our listeners today, we've taken a deep dive into Katana Spin Casino. We've looked at their games, their bonuses, that super cool samurai theme, their licensing, customer support, mobile platform security measures, pretty much everything you need to know to get started.
We've given you the information. Now it's up to you to weigh the pros and cons and decide if Katana Spin Casino is the right fit for your own personal gaming style.
And remember, there's no rush. Take your time, do your research, read reviews, compare casinos, and choose the one that aligns with your needs and preferences.
And most importantly, have fun. Online casinos are all about entertainment, so find a casino that you enjoy and play responsibly.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time for another exciting exploration of the online casino world.